Alrighty, then let's go. So I previewed this game, and basically I will not go into too much detail on what to do, but give more of a general approach because I realize that Anachan is a rather new player. So too much detail is probably not the best idea. In general, I would recommend you to look up the tips for beginners in the Turn Build channel, I think, and also the Siege Expand video, because you don't have really a structure, it seems like, for your early game. And in general, you are missing like a vital, or you do not have a clear understanding on what you usually do in TvP. You know that you have to open Rax Gas and get your factory, but after that it's not the most optimal play, let's put it that way. First of all, you should, when you get your first factory, you should almost always get a tank first and never a vulture. Because usually Protoss opens with dragoons. Or maybe one zealot, that's like the most standard. Or that's like the second most opening, a used opening, I would say. And for one zealot you can use marines to defend it, and better even build a wall at your entrance so that you do not have to micro your heart out to defeat a zealot with like 2 marines. And it's also very important to, especially at the start, to not get supply blocked so that you can have constant unit production and SCV production. And in general, you have to be aware that Protoss can go for tech openings like going Reaver or getting Dark Templars. So at a certain time you should get an engineering bay just so that you can build some safety turrets if you do not know what your opponent is doing. In this game it is not really relevant because he went 3 Gate Goon, but it's in general you can lose easily versus Dark Templars if you do not have a turret early on. Yes, and after you take your expansion you should really continue SCV production. You barely build any SCVs in the entire game. So that's something you should work on. And also you should not make so many tanks, or when you get your second factory you do not necessarily need to add your second machine shop right away. You can just go 1 tank from one factory and vultures from the other factory. The main composition for TvP is tank vulture, because vultures are really good versus zealots, and with mines you can keep kind of map control and know what is going on. And in general you should keep your army together and not just a move directly to him, because then your army can get split up like you can see here, and it can lead to rather bad engagements. As you can see here, your vultures and marines died to the goons, and your tanks could not, or were not together with them, otherwise the push could have been much more or much stronger. And in general, you need to build continuously vultures and also add factories later on when you have more money. Because you have only very little SCVs, you actually have a lot of gas and not enough mineral income, so that you stay on free factories a very long time. And if you do not see any air units from him, you should not get Goliaths, but vultures instead. Yeah, also in general, when you are taking your third base, you can also start taking further, getting starport, getting science vessels. Oh, engagement here. This engagement could have gone much better if the Goliaths would have been vultures, because the zealots would have been killed faster, and the tanks would not have killed themselves. Yeah, but in general, after you take your third, or while you take your third, you should take up to starport and science facility to get science vessels, because the most standard tech choice of Protoss after they expanded is to get Arbiters, which your opponent does here at some point. And it is really good because you do not have to scan all the time to see his army, and the engagements become more cost effective because of that. Yeah, basically you have apparently better macro than him at this point. But you have to be careful when you're pushing further, and you really need to add factories. If you have so much money like you have right now, you can just add 5-6 factories at once, so that you have the production capabilities to actually spend your money. Oh yeah, also in TvP you never go battlecruisers, which you did in this game, because Protoss units are very good against battlecruisers. Basically everything is good against battlecruisers from the Protoss side of point of view, except for zealots. Everything else can shoot up and is cost effective, or they can storm you. And even carriers have, if they are microed, have longer range than battlecruisers and are faster, so in the long run they are not a good option. Oh yeah, and because you didn't take up to get science vessels, you take really bad engagements because you do not realize you are being attacked, because his army is cloaked. And also when his arbiter, or when he has arbiters, you should spread out your tanks more if you can. But I think it's more important that you just get more units. You can worry about such micro stuff later. And there's also a general rule of thumb regarding machine shops. You should only get like 1 per gas you have, and not more, so 4 machine shops is a little bit overkill. You usually need the gas to take up to get science vessels and upgrades, and you usually don't have enough gas for that much. Thanks. Yeah, I would say that's basically what there is to talk about. Basically, you should really look at the tutorial or the beginner tips for beginners video and the siege expand, so that you get a good or a solid opening and learn a bit how to SimCity or wall in your base, so that you are not so that you do not have to focus so much when he tries to attack you early on with zealots. Alrighty. Then, if no one has another replay, then I would just go through one or two of zones once.
I'll send you a few replays if you
have
time. Look at those.
Sure.
As a direct message.
Ah yeah, I see it. Let me download them. Then we take a look at them. Okay. Same name, password.
Which was
BBS 123.
Oh yeah, BBS 123. Alrighty, let's go. So let's see. Do you have any particular time you want to talk about, or just in general?
I think just in general.
Okay.
I always have trouble to take like another gas in this map against Protoss.
Okay.
Do you recommend just to build a wall at every map at the ramp, or just what I did?
Depends on what your level is. If you're getting better, then you can just leave it and just go for SimCity like you did here. It's fine, I think. If you are confident in your micro, you can just go with that. So now let's see what your reaction is to this zealot. What I recommend here is, as soon as you see the zealot and move your marine back, build your third depot, because you will be shortly supply blocked now, and that's always a really killer, because you cannot build a tank now or a vulture. Unless
Yeah.
you lose your your Marines, of course. But if you don't, then it's really a bad feeling. Yeah, and you should know that he only built one Zealot by the time he came to your base, and you also saw that he had like the usual core timing. So you should not build a Vulture, but a tank instead, because now this Dragoon is really annoying.
Yeah, but at least I managed to defend. I think tank would have been too late. But maybe it's fine. Yeah, tank would have been good as well.
Yeah, the problem is he barely did sacrifice anything. He just cut maybe one probe to get the Zealot out before the Dragoon, and now you build your CC on the high ground. And you are falling behind economically. So it's a problem. Didn't you?
Okay, but what could have I done different?
Well, if you build your depot on time, then get a tank, and then you would be able to place the CC at location, for example, and you can also push him. Maybe it depends on how many Marines you have left, but in general, I think I'm not sure if you saw his natural. Let me check. Because he got a pretty early Nexus. Yeah, he cut Dragoons. Yeah, okay, you didn't see it. Oh, you saw it.
He saw it, yes.
Okay, then, but it's a higher level thing, because by the timing is really early. It's before 4 minutes, significantly before 4 minutes, so you know that he cut something, either Dragoon range or Dragoon. And if you wouldn't have lost like 3 Marines, you could have do an FD push basically and try to put some pressure on, and at least get map control. But okay. So, and another thing, well, I probably would have, even though you had only a Vulture and a Marine, I probably would have just gone down the ramp, because he only has 1 damaged Dragoon, and he wouldn't have been able to deal with 1 Marine and 1 Vulture. But it's not so important. And what I'm wondering is, why did you get the E-base so early when you saw the natural?
I didn't see.
You should have seen on the minimap that he got a building there. Well, let me remind, because I am pretty sure I saw.
Yeah, he saw it.
Yeah, you saw on the minimap. You can see that he started his natural, so you could have known that he has a natural, so you didn't need to build turrets so early on.
Yeah, probably wasn't paying attention. I always try to be too safe, maybe. Oh, yeah. Like,
yeah, if you didn't notice, then it's okay, of course, but you should notice that there's a big blob at the natural in Fog of War. Okay, so let's see, what does he do? Okay, and you go. I'm not so sure. I would not get if you get turrets, I would not get the academy before an armory, because it doesn't make sense really. I only get an early academy if I don't get turrets to scan to see if I need turrets. But in the other direction it doesn't make sense, because it just harms your timing push potential if he gets a greedy third, and you don't really have fast upgrades either. So I would not really go this route.
So could I just skip the turrets? Get Academy instead?
Yeah, if
And Armory?
yeah, if you want to go for like +2, +1 flash style, then I would prefer that route. If you see that he gets a natural. Because then you have scan and time to see if he goes for Reaver, which he does here. And then you can get Goliaths. And then get also an eBay a little bit later. Because when you expand... you need to cover your edges because you don't want to build Goliaths all the time. You should not build like more than 4 Goliaths. And yeah, and you can then use these Goliaths to move out to take your third, and you don't need to, let's say, slow push to your third because he has a shuttle. And let me also rewind a little bit. Yeah, a little bit more. There's this here. And there's a small tail where you can see that he goes for probably or likely speed shuttles. That is, if you scan at 630 and you see like the robo, but you see only 2 gates, it is not unlikely that he goes for speed shuttles. And he doesn't have a third, of course, which you know. And in that case, you should get an eBay pretty much as soon as you see the Reaver opening or follow-up, in addition to Goliath, because speed shuttles are very dangerous. Okay, so we got 3 factories. Also, I don't know if you know, but if you move your tanks away from the Scarab, they only take half damage.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I didn't pay attention if you tried to micro it here.
Maybe I haven't.
Yeah, it was a bit too much damage. It
Yeah,
was 3 tanks.
and some SUVs.
Yeah. But that's the thing about speed shuttles, you don't really think that they are surviving your turret ring, but they do. That's why you have to be very careful versus them. So Protoss is doing good, gets Arbiters now. You have 3 factories. Yeah, and you stop SCV production, which is really bad.
And 1 SCV is missing on the gas in the main after that Reaver drop.
Yeah. And you have so much money, you need to get your 3rd CC. Ah, your plan, okay. But you should get a CC regardless because you have the money. Okay, you're getting it now.
Yeah, now when the dust has settled, I start to spend some money.
Yeah, so basically here you are already significantly behind, so it's going to be hard to win this game. Because of lacking SCV production, and the Reaver took every opportunity from you to do a timing push. And you're also behind in tech. Yeah, you don't have a starport yet.
Yeah, I should have had like 2 armories.
Yeah.
And starport and second upgrade on the way should have been.
Yeah, and for some time you didn't have gas. I suppose you have it because you got supply blocked. But in general, when you get upgrades, you should probably only get one machine shop or only produce tanks from one machine shop. Because you need all the gas for starport upgrades and so on. And you only should get it later, or you should only produce 2 tanks when you started maybe +2. I'm not sure about the timing, but around that time, so pretty late, because Science Vessel costs also gas, and if he goes Arbiters, he want to have at least 1. And then you build additional vessels when you have the gas, but then I would focus on getting more tanks. Okay. So now, well, what can you do to come back? Basically, you have to turtle super hard because you know he has Arbiters already, and
So those vulture like running across the map is useless, right?
if you, I would only, I would scan basically the base, and if there's nothing, you can of course attack the probes. But if there are like 3 cannons or something like that, it is probably not worth it, and it's better to just lay mines across the map and to have map vision basically, and to have and to cut off any like counter attack paths for later on when he maybe doesn't want to engage you but wants to play at counter style.
Yeah, but you really should place more mines, especially on the right of your 3rd base. There are like no mines on the low ground.
Yeah, I would place mines there. At least at the bottom half of it, where your army will not move when you want to push him. So also because on Polypoid often Protoss players want to bust your 3rd, so it is actually important to have mines there, because they max out really quickly and then they just YOLO it and try to get it done, and it often enough works if you are not fully prepared. Okay, so you started building more turrets, that's good, but you also need to place mines here so that he cannot recoil without casualties. And this now is just really hard for you to deal with.
Yeah, there should have been mines.
Yeah, it's of course hard to do everything. But in this case, when you see he already has the Arbiters, then you should probably prioritize mining your main instead of mining the map, because that loses you the game basically instantly. You do not have the +2 upgrade now, and you will not get it for a long time. And you lose all your tech, so there's like no comeback from this basically.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to take the fort, as you saw at the 9 o'clock, but
Yeah.
First of all, it was too late, and I don't know how to do it exactly. Should you just supply, like build a wall of supply?
You can do that, especially at the other ramp.
Top ramp.
Yeah, that you should do actually. And then it's just a matter of you having good macro and actually having enough stuff to defend it. Because I think, yeah, the recall should happen. And you're like, he's maxed for a while now, and you are only at 140 supplies, so it's like, it's no wonder you cannot take a 4th base. Your macro is just too behind. Yeah.
I was distracted from every like side. I was
Yeah.
attacking with zealots and then recall.
Yeah, it's often also a trick of Protoss players to just feint an attack and move in with Arbiter at the same time to distract you.
Yeah, this makes sense.
Especially if you rely on vessels to defend versus recalls, then it's often very effective. If you don't expect it, like the two things happening at the same time, and then you just miss to EMP the Arbiter, and then you have lost the game also. So yeah, I think we can fast forward here. There's not much. Yeah, he will recall you to death. Yeah, there's not much you can do. Yeah, and since you do not even have a single vessel because he killed your starport, it's so much harder to deal with Arbiters.
Right. Oops.
Did you ever get your armories back? I don't think so. Oh, you're building it now.
Yeah. Near factories. Yeah, it's gonna be one last fight and then I just GG or leave the game. I actually translated what he wrote.
Okay.
He was just insulting me whole game. But I didn't understand that.
That's the standard thing. I always expect to be insulted if they talk when we are winning, especially. Because he obviously knew how far ahead he was.
Is there anything you can do to stop them from freezing your units on the ramp?
No.
It happens sometimes.
Or you get vessels and EMP the Arbiters all the time.
Yeah, either that or that's obviously the best one, but what you can do if you know that he tries to just don't go up the ramp. Yeah, you have to sack a base, or if it's your main ramp, you can try to glitch them out with SCV pull and then stop on top of the like frozen units, and maybe you're lucky they move out of the way enough so that units can actually pass again.
And he won the stasis again. If you're
lucky. If he has more than one stasis, then you're screwed anyway. even with one stasis, even if you are like pro gamer and manage and pull your SCVs immediately and glitch them out, it all takes time, and until that your main base is so much more destroyed. It shouldn't happen. You should have enough turrets that the Arbiter dies at least.
Yeah.
Because it's even if a recoil gets off, if they are at least not cloaked, you have a much easier time to deal with them. Yeah.
Second game should be much more equal.
Yeah, it started from the early game, and then he got good damage with a Reaver, and it all piled up.
I'll be right back in a minute. I need to feed my cats.
Alrighty. So then, I guess in the meantime, we can watch one of Zone's replays. Take a look. that should be it. Game is open.
What's the password?
1, 2, 3.
Whose game is it?
Zone's replay is it? It will be, I think, a short one. I just wanted to point out some early game stuff. So basically he chooses to wall here.
Oh. Is it kind of wall that gives you marine inside of the main?
Yes.
Because of that stone there? Okay.
Yeah, that obstacle there lets
Yeah.
the marine spawn on the right side.
Every time I
That's
fall
nice.
into wall on this map, it's so nicely designed and I never wall.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't even need to know where to put the buildings. It's shown
yeah.
for you.
Yeah, I didn't even see it until I think Shiba took a screenshot and showed it to me. I didn't even notice it before.
What?
Like the spot to wall.
Yeah. On this map, it's like on the places you see it. Yeah.
Yeah, like the snow and the other tiles. So what I wanted to point out here is that Zone gets his factory very late because he chooses to get to Marines first. And it will come and bite him.
If you wall off, you could probably get no marines, right? And
Yeah,
just get a marine after the factory started.
exactly. That's why it doesn't really make sense. And I think the Protoss player made a nice move here. He baited him to go out with his pylon, and now the Marines are dead.
Wow.
And Zone now really starts to struggle here. Because now he has to build additional Marines. And a Dragoon is now on the way, and because the factory is so late, the Dragoon can really harass a long time.
Oh.
And the Zealot can attack a depot, and he's basically in a bit of trouble, even though the Protoss player did a completely standard build. Because his tank is so super late, he just started it, he takes so much damage.
Feels bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, first Protoss. Stand up build and straight up kill you.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why why it's also very important to have a good timing on your factory, because the earlier it is, the less Dragoons can harass you early on.
How more late was his factory?
It
It
wa-
was very late because
It was very
at
late.
19 he still didn't start it, I think. It started at 19 supply or something like that. Even a bit later.
Usually, when you
100 gas.
yeah, you can see at the gas there's 100 gas too late basically. And if you look at the timer, you can, if you don't build a Marine, you can get your factory like 2:35, and he started it like 3 minutes or a little bit before 3 minutes, so it's like super late.
Yeah.
And that and the bait of the
Yeah,
Marines really costed him.
That bait because he thought it was cannon rush or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but actually it's not good against the Terran because you get the siege tank, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's where the Protoss tried simply because it only costs 25 minerals, and he took the bait. I wouldn't go out either, because I then just, if the pylon finishes, I get just siege mode and I'm good. So I would just facepalm if I see a cannon rush like that.
And if you see didn't know if you saw the fast expansion, but if you go 2 Fac, you would have more units, so you can push it if you wait for 1-2 tanks, then go out with your army.
Yeah.
Not have so much.
He just played the odds. Alrighty, let's go to the second Euro game. Password 123, BBS is the name. Okay, that one is in bloom. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what's the map, so I checked the overmines.
Yeah, it happens to me also. I don't know why, but I oftentimes think it is Shakuras instead of Ringing Bloom, and then I say, ah, darn, why didn't I wall? Okay, Protoss goes for 12 Nexus already.
I personally vetoed this map because of Sunken Rush.
It's handlebar. If you wall, you can handle it with SCVs.
I shouldn't have shown you this game. The build order was so like random.
I see the depot is. Ah, okay, you reacted to the 12 Nexus, I see. It's okay, you can do that, I suppose. I probably. I would have to think about it. It's probably not optimal, because I would probably get the depot first, the second one, to not get so long supply blocked. But as a reaction, it's okay.
You could never do the SCV pool on this map, right? Especially if it's cross spawn.
If I scout them first, I would do that.
Okay.
Well, depends on the mood, I guess. Well, if I scout him first, I would do it. If I scout him second, I would probably go for a vulture drop follow-up at least.
Because they get late observers.
Yes, and also late goon range, so there's no pressure and you can get vultures immediately. And they also cannot attack your bunker constantly, because you're on the high ground, so vulture drop is a very good option. And that's also a reason why Rax Expand is also a good option here, because you do not have to worry too much about your bunker dying because you didn't repair it in time. Because they cannot constantly attack it. You just have to be aware of a possible bust attempt, but you can see that coming. Okay, he goes 3, so that's okay.
Yeah, but you should get the machine shop after the first vulture, I think, so you can get out very fast with the mines.
Yeah, exactly. That's one change I would do. I would not send so many SCVs to the natural either. Now you have only 5 SCVs at the main.
Yeah, I usually send 5.
3 SCVs are lazy.
Yeah. So... Okay, he saves the zealots. You do not get to you do not need to get the E-base so early on if he goes 12 Nexus. I think you saw 2-gate, right? Then you don't need to get such an early E-base. You can just go Armory Academy again.
I know it might sound stupid, but on ladder you cross every kind of player. But what if he goes 2-gate, then cut purposely Dragoon or stuff to get GT tech? Should he...
Well, you have mines, so
Oh, yeah.
if he goes for DT drop, that would be another story. But I think it takes longer for him.
Yeah, DT drop, yeah. I was thinking about normal DT, you know. He purposely, like, he did try Nexus and stuff, but then you don't scale him. He purposely cuts, I don't know, unit or even worker to get all of a sudden GT tech.
Yeah, I would always get on this map, especially mines with vultures, and then you are safe versus this kind of stuff.
Yeah, if he cuts unit, he can't send it to tank the mine. That's true.
Yeah, and it's the only thing is that you might not notice that mines are disappearing on the map, and he somehow sneaks it around, and maybe you get that unlucky. But I would always place like 2-3 mines also directly at your main entrance or natural entrance to make sure that doesn't happen. Even it may be also that he proxied a gate or something like that. So
Yeah.
I always do that. I almost always do that. Okay.
And I decided to do that too. Just as you were saying.
Okay. Good.
This map, is it really that easy to take 4 bases per turn? Like, you get this base wide open outside the ramp, and then across the breach another one, which is also easy to defend, seems like.
Yeah.
This map's also good for a contain, because you can make a very good turret ring and can deny the third expansion with a strong contain and just have one small gap where you can place mines and he can't move out with shuttles or something.
Yeah.
So what you mean is I should have moved across the map and we'll build turrets and continue?
No,
Yeah, it's an option.
No, versus 12 Nexus I would never do a 2-base timing push. It's like suicide. If he didn't take a super greedy third base, he just has more stuff in you. He should have more stuff in you, let's put it that way, but yeah. You're building double armory so early on. And you're slacking, or you slacked SCV production a couple of minutes ago. You were even with him, but now you miss 5.
And now you have no turret at your natural expansion.
Yeah.
Only one. Ah, okay, yeah.
So after 9 minutes there can be a reaver drop or something.
Yeah, that's a mistake for sure.
Okay, he goes only for... he goes for carriers. Okay. What do you see? You see the spinning...
Once I get on, he sees the upgrade, so...
Yeah, okay, so you know
Yeah.
what's coming. You expand now, okay.
I don't know why he tried to sneak a third Stargate though, like below. He put 2 above.
What do you mean? That his third is at the 4th location, or?
I don't know, like there's 2 Stargates with 1 pylon, and there's a third one, but it's at the bottom of the base.
Ah, yeah. I don't know either, yeah.
I guess he's trying to sneak it, I don't know, man.
It's some proto stuff.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was thinking.
Well, I don't think he thought about it, but it could be that if you see only 2 Stargates and he didn't already have a third, then it's really hard to push him. But if he would really get carriers from 3 Stargates, then you should push, because he cannot have that much.
I don't think I saw cybernetic core speeding. I didn't notice.
Okay, but for the future you should. It's a very clear indication. But I think you saw the fleet beacon at the bottom left, I think, when you scanned there.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Would be a good time to push if you're starting carriers. If you have enough tanks and vultures.
Right. Seems good opportunity to push.
But yeah, you
maybe.
need to add more factories like you're doing, because 3 is not good. If you fight and lose some units, you have only 3 factories.
Yeah, but it's more important that you build more SCVs. You still only have 40. It's like 11 minutes.
Yeah, at some point I had 15 SCV just idling later in the game.
Okay.
I didn't count it.
Well, you should notice that something is wrong if half your minerals are not being mined from at the main.
Yeah, now you're getting the 4th, because it's free for you. But that's actually...
Yeah, I would not...
Counter for the Protoss, he's going for carriers if you're turtling.
Yeah, you should not... I would not take a 3rd if I scanned carriers. I would really hard macro off 3 bases and attack as soon as...
I scammed him just now.
Yeah, I think he just realized it's Care because you see he's now building Goliath. So
Ah, okay.
I didn't realize before this scan,
Yeah.
like 10 seconds ago.
Yeah.
But even this is factory and SCV count is too low.
Yeah, yeah.
6
Yeah.
Fac at 3 base,
Somehow-
40 SCVs it's not the best way to pump Goliaths.
What would be a good SCV count? 60 or?
60, yeah.
Yeah.
It can be
At
a little
least.
bit less, but
At
around
least, like
60.
50, 55 or something.
Yeah. 55 is a good number.
Somehow I never was good at building SCVs, but how do you like make yourself better that way? Maybe just, you know.
Well, I have my CCs hotkeyed, that's why I just always produce as even in the late game, so I have my CCs on 5 and 6, so I don't override them until I move out with 200-200. So I can just build from my main and natural until my science facility is done, and then I just glance at my mineral lines and I see, okay, there's more than 1 SCV per mineral patch, so it's probably fine.
So you use F2, F3 for your CCs?
No, I just use 5 and 6, and then I double tap at 5 and 6 to send them to mining.
So F2, F3 you don't use at all? Or
I use it,
For production.
yeah, for production, or when I have to run my SCVs from the river, but other than that I don't really use location hotkeys, or to re-rally, like if I have 9 factories and I really want to have a forward rally point, then I use that.
You can use F2 and F3, but it's harder because you actually have to click more. If you want to build SCV from there.
Lol, you're gonna get this car. Big touch me.
or am I?
Like that.
You should make a little bit more pressure to that army.
I have a problem is that he lacks the macros. Usually you should be maxed and have a really strong push.
Yeah, but look, it's a small group of dragoons, 1
Yeah,
carrier
it's-
almost dead, and here's a lot of stuff. If some more Goliaths pop out like now, you should
Yeah, that's right.
kill all this army, yes, before he gets a large carrier count or something.
Especially,
Your vessel. You forgot. Ah, he's coming. Yeah, I was about to say to kill the observer because yeah, observer pain the ass. When they
I actually would not get a vessel versus carrier, because I like my gas in Goliath and the upgrades, and usually I don't have enough to get Goliaths and the vessel, so I just skip the vessel because I don't really need it.
I mean, And all you can do with Vessel is eventually EMP when
Yeah,
there
I
are
like the vessel
many
play also.
carriers, but yeah, he has like 4 right now.
If they stack the carriers on some Dragoon group or something, you can just hit a very good EMP.
Yeah,
And he has like 20 units without shields. But yeah, yeah, it depends on you how your plays. If you like Vessel EMP play or not.
and also if you have enough gas, yeah.
Yeah, well, you have enough money, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But
Man, this carrier with 6 HP. I wanted to die so bad.
yeah, the thing is, if the Protoss player knows how to micro his carriers, the EMP doesn't really help you that much on the carriers because you cannot reach them anyways. So Defense Matrix is probably a better spell in that case. Only if he like doesn't pay attention or doesn't have his army.
Oh, now
Just
they're
hit it.
clumped very good.
You already hit one.
Yeah, he got one is launched.
Ah yeah, okay, and now he's around
Now you
you.
could, yeah,
It doesn't micro his
focus with the Goliaths. You're shooting at the interceptors.
It's like giving the carrier to you. Or...
Something else probably.
No, I guess it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, you could pick more carriers at this position if you micro
Yeah.
it correctly. Just flying without shields into you.
Yeah, if he is near or if he is over land, you should just move to him and like stutter step, basically hold position. Or first you attack one specific carrier and then you stutter step to him with hold position, because that way the Goliaths keep the target. And they kill then the carrier and you don't have to repeatedly move directly on the same carrier, because if they are stacked it's sometimes hard to select the same one.
If you attack move on something and then hold position, they keep the attack, so they keep attacking the
They,
same thing.
yeah.
Oh, that's good to know. So, for example, with Goliaths, I could click on the shuttle and then hit hold position.
Yes. I think so. I'm not 100% sure because a shuttle is not an attacking unit, but I think it should be the case. But at least on carriers it works 100%. Well, yeah, from here on out, you probably just care. The only thing you can do is sit back and amass another army and try to slowly take another expansion or something. Or maybe try to sneak one, because carriers are slow. So they cannot really be all at once. Be everywhere at once. But yeah, otherwise you just have to try to keep the losses to minimum versus the carriers.
In this situation you should have like 2 groups of Goliaths, like 2 groups of 8 Goliaths, so you can trap the carriers. It's hard on the cliffs.
Yeah, and you did it a bit more turrets at the natural, so that he cannot just counter you all the time. And you need to keep your army away from any ridges or cliffs or like this river, so that he cannot snipe stuff for free, and he has to keep engaging you in open field. So at least he has to use also his ground army to defend his carriers.
Now, yeah, his army is very weak in front of you.
Felt very weak. But it's 40 more supply. Somehow.
Yeah, you don't have that much chance you're building it up again.
But it's like 8 goon against 8 tank.
Protoss
And all
also
the
only
Goliaths. Yeah, the carriers are
Holy
dead.
crap, you smooth from the Protoss.
The Protoss only has plasma shield upgrades or something.
Yeah, looks like he went all in on carriers basically, but he forgot to upgrade his interceptors. He only has +1 still.
That's one. The shield is good for ground and air army both, so.
Okay, you actually have
Oh,
now.
there's no observer on the map. Holy.
Oh,
That's good juice, man.
I was so unlucky with those carriers.
You should
How many
focus
carriers?
that High Templars.
Yeah, High Templars, but look at those carriers too.
You're lucky that he actually retreated.
Also, it should have like, I don't know. Maybe
You should
more about the control
shoot
group.
the High Templars with the tanks when he's attacking, if they are in range.
Yeah, or if you can, and you should always have like a mix of vultures in your army, because they auto-target zealots and Goliaths do not when carriers are attacking, and they really have to keep the like self-inflicting damage at bay, because otherwise the zealots run just in and they don't take any damage aside from the tanks and you kill yourself basically. So it's important to always have some vultures with you.
There's one mistake like a minute ago. As you pushed his 9 o'clock position, you should immediately get your 4th base, but the command center is just sitting there all the time.
Yeah.
With the first push, it would be a good timing to take the base there again.
There's 42 probes left.
Yeah, almost. And yes, like I think one mining.
Yeah, but you're running out of minerals at these bases, so yeah, the CC is now flying.
Oh, wood full. And acute mine planted.
Yeah. Also, what I wanted to say is, if you scan, or usually you also scan ahead to see his army, and then you can use vultures to snipe Templars.
You need to move the SCVs. Get the gas, it's important.
Yeah. But no, here's a problem. Yeah, There is a lot of carriers and you don't have, or you barely have any Goliaths.
Yeah, but those carriers are so...
If you had more gas, you not even build the refinery at your 4th base. If you have more gas and you know you did a lot of economical damage to your enemy, you could now maybe also switch a little bit to raids, but now your gas count is too low for this to just clean up the damaged carriers.
It was actually closer than I thought. Yeah. If you would have taken your 4th earlier, you would have still won the game.
Maybe I did win the game. Who knows?
Who knows? It's yeah, it's you have
Versus
a lot of minerals but no gas. That's the problem.
there are so many carriers. Well, he does have only little probes left, like these 2 bases he has.
If I had more gas, I would just make 2 more Starprot, 8 clock crates, and hunt the carrier at this down.
It's so risky. I would never go race.
Sometimes it's so great.
Because somewhere is always an observer remaining, and your race don't have any upgrades. It's
I would do this in the late game if the Protoss has like half the map, but this Protoss is hard damaged at least. So, and now he's like some regeneration, get 2 bases mining. But the carriers are just flying around the map and they are low HP almost all.
sure. The Protoss needs to learn to micro carriers.
Hey, move micro.
Okay, now it actually looks really good for you. If Archon doesn't kill all your warfare. Okay, I guess you won.
Maybe I'm not.
Maybe not.
I cannot believe how
knows?
could you how could you lose this game now?
25 SCVs maybe.
Hey, it's
But still.
lower SCV, lower supply.
But it means
the
he has a
Protoss
really
has
strong
3 base-
army. He has a
base
really
mining.
strong army. If he doesn't lose all his
Sometimes,
army to DTs, then he's good.
Where's scans? Wow.
You have one only. now.
Building the scanner.
Oh yeah, there's no scan. And no vessel.
Invisible man in late game.
I didn't see that 3 o'clock hidden base.
Oh, one carrier.
Yeah, that one carrier.
This is the hero.
So strong.
But now there's a ground army coming.
Yeah, that's too much progress.
That was bad Vulture micro. You should not never in a bigger engagement lay mines in front of zealots. Because you just kill yourself.
Yeah.
How could you do this?
Easy.
Huh.
Yeah, this was a back and forth game maybe. Yeah, carriers always mess everything up for me. I think even at this map he could have for a long time went to my inside natural and kill everything with those 5 carriers initial.
Yeah.
Like one Protoss did to me at one game, and I couldn't do anything. Goliaths are so stupid, they can go they can't attack carriers and they just stop shooting at all when they see the interceptors flying around. I don't know how do you control them so they can attack something at least. You just press hold or attack?
No, hold does nothing to fight with interceptors, and if you can't see the carriers. Either you really are there and press attack move on the ground all the time, or you can patrol your Goliaths there. Then they shoot less when you attack move, but they are still shooting at least. If they are really keep attacking you and you need to macro, then just use patrol micro or patrol on the ground like next to each other so that the Goliaths at least still shoot sometimes.
Do they not shoot with hold position?
Exactly, they don't.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, and it looks very stupid. They see the interceptor, but they stop shooting at
Yeah,
all.
they just rotate their head and that's it.
Yeah, following the movement of interceptors. God damn it, stupid guys. Is it because they can see the carriers or what? Why
Yeah, well, I think if it's hold position, it takes a bit longer to acquire the target, and he only would shoot if he doesn't have to rotate anymore, and because the interceptors all like fly around all the time really fast, they just cannot get to shoot.
Yeah, and
It
also
seems
they sometimes
position
go out of
sometimes work.
range, and the go light has to re-aim.
Yeah, exactly. That too.
Hmm.
Okay,
Because sometimes hold position does work, but and Goliath shoot FE. But when they
maybe it
like
does if
carriers are
it's
out of range, then they get stupid.
maybe it does in some circumstances on an open field,
Yeah,
but
I think so.
Petrol is more does more usually, or is more, how to say it, reliable.
Okay, something to try.
Okay, does anyone have more replays
I
Or
didn't
any
play this week,
questions?
so
or questions? Yeah, in general.
I check if I have a replay. But I played maybe last week because
Who's playing TvP this week?
I think that was the only TvP I played this week, like the first game. I haven't played much.
I'm not sure if I have any games.
Let's check the list because maybe they are not here. Ah, yes, Zone. Anna is playing TvP and U-Round is playing TvP, okay.
Yeah.
You're playing against River Fox. I played him in the preceding, I think.
Was he any good?
I just two-fact him, so no, not a good chance to see his skill level.
Well, could he defend it or not?
No.
Okay, that's an indication.
Okay, let's see this. So just check this replay because I just have the names. I check quickly.
Yeah. Icy Cup had better autosave.
Which one could be interesting? Okay, so it's this one. It wasn't poly. Oh, okay, it's nothing. It's against the bot. uh, let's see this one maybe. Oh, I was angry at this one, so let's watch why.
Oh, I have a beautiful game. Like the most stupid game you have ever seen, I think.
Well, let's see it.
I can send it. It was the last game I played. Should I send it to you?
Yeah, sure.
What happened this game?
Okay. Is it fine? The name?
It's okay. No problem.
Wow, beautiful name.
I just went full gateway, man.
Name and password is the same.
Of course, the photos would put Arbiter Tribunal there.
Okay, anyone else want to join? Otherwise I start.
I check on Chiba's.
I think Azrael, yeah, he's
I
gonna.
will check on Shiba's POV. He's
Mhm.
streaming, so.
Okay, then let's go.
So my build order is what messed me because I didn't see what my opponent is doing
Okay.
because my scan was so late. So maybe I should consider just skip engineering bay and make academy and armor instead every game from now on.
Depends, actually. If you go for fast expand, you can do it, of course, but otherwise you always need the eBay. Or almost always need the eBay. If you have perfect information, you maybe don't need it always, but otherwise. So he goes for forward, gate over, multiple zealots. Too slow.
No gas for him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that should trigger, if the zealot is that late, that should trigger that he wants to take a gasless expansion.
Is it a legit build?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It can go really south if he loses his zealots too fast, but I see that sometimes. But the Frodo's player has to be really good to hold like even a normal FD, I think. He has to know how to have goons in time. Okay, lucky you, he retreated.
His gun is gonna be so late.
Yeah, it feels like his assimilator's later than it should be, but I'm not sure.
Even the range is gonna finish. I think, yeah, he could do. I'm not sure because it's Protoss, you know. So, but could he like add more factories or do some like 2-fact push?
I don't think it's necessary. As a reaction, I think the second factory would simply be too late.
Yeah.
I would just go for an FD push, I think, or something like that with like a fast vulture. But yeah, 3 zealots is still a lot to deal with.
Mm.
Yeah, even FD would start like in 10 seconds. It's like the earliest timing with 12 gas. And then you would still have, when you are at his base, you would have 3 zealots and 1 goon. But yeah, but it would be only 1 goon, and you could
It would be.
6 marines or 7 marines even, and 1 vulture. It would be hard for him to hold it actually.
Yeah, it would be like micro battle basically.
Yeah, but he doesn't have range, and if you can micro even remotely decently with your marines, you should have that. Because he went actually really greedy. I think the normal follow-up is to get a second gate pretty quickly, because there should be no way that he can handle any type of FD push.
Yeah, so now he's.
Oh, there's a
ahead.
Stargate?
What?
I think you lost your vulture to the zealot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That was not so good.
Built few probes, so it was okay.
So it will be 2 base carriers?
What is that? Like a 8-minute arbiter? I don't know, man. I've seen stuff like that in TvP, like 730 arbiter, I think once. It was crazy. It was on Terror streamer, I can't remember who, but he was shocked, like But the earliest Arbiter he has ever seen.
Hmm. Yeah,
It's a
Okay.
complete beacon carriers to base.
yeah, that's like a just super gambling.
Yeah, because if you
Yeah.
just add factories, like he's so dead right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Your eBay is just a mistake because when he goes gasless expand, his tech will be even later than if he would go 12 Nexus. So you really can take your time and get an academy and armory and just play macro style and have all the information you need.
Yeah.
I can't imagine your
I d-
face when you see Courier, man. That early.
Yeah, and
Oh,
the thing
man.
is, until he sees it, he probably has at least 4 and is already in his face or something like that.
Yeah, it's what must be so frustrating. Trust me, I would already name this replay fucking bullshit. I would already name the replay like that. Every time I'm angry and I lose, I name replays like that.
And even now, I should have like gone to his natural, maybe with that vulture, and even to the main
Yeah.
to see what's going on.
But that's the thing, that would be just a lucky scout in this case, because usually Protoss players always block the entrance.
Still no armory, no academy.
Yeah, that you don't have any of those is actually bad.
I think it didn't make, you know. I ordered Arm Academy, I think, at some point, but I didn't have minerals, you know.
Yeah, okay.
How it happens.
Armory is starting now.
At some point, I did scout him. Even before they fly to my base. I think he could have killed me right now, no? But he wanted to make more.
Well, he doesn't
Yeah.
know what you're doing either, he doesn't have an observer, so he's just waiting for carriers because
Yeah.
he knows if he has enough, he just wins.
I guess that's also why he doesn't push on the maps. It's because of mines. He
Yeah.
doesn't have observers, so... I love how he's sneaking bases like that.
That's one thing I don't understand. You scouted his third and you could use your vultures to place mines between or in the pathway between his natural and his third, and then you could actually do a small early push because he can't
No, I
engage you.
scan.
They fly
Yeah.
over the mines, I think.
Sorry. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you don't have anything. You have 4 turrets and now you
I
start.
built few Star Cores maybe to make raids because I scouted that he doesn't know have observers.
Yeah, in this scenario, raids are actually good. Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't have glide
See, I moving.
range.
I mean, at
Oh,
least
In this
see?
situation,
Barrier.
in
Yeah.
this situation, I just would move all my vultures and tanks because they can't shoot the carriers to attack him.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
But it was too late.
Yeah, he.
Done it immediately.
Well, when you scanned him, he already was like in your half of the map, so understandable that he catched you basically. What I would do when I scan like 3 Stargate and everything blinking, spam turrets at your natural to buy more time for Goliaths. Yeah, but that is basically game over. Yeah.
Maybe raids could
Trigger.
help.
I'm triggered just by watching because I'm imagining playing this game right now, you know. And then I see Carrier at 12 minutes at my base.
I can tell you only one thing. It was my last game. Yeah, it was played at Monday, so
Oh my
Yeah.
god, man.
so probably that's the reason I haven't played this week.
Oh my god.
Oh, he only had 75 APM.
Oh,
Yeah,
75 APM 2 base carriers. Okay.
I move Carrier and win.
yeah, but
But
to be fair,
worst-
it was my fault
Yeah, I mean,
Part
but it's just that you can't do such thing as Terran, you know. That's why it's funny. Like,
Yeah, he was lucky I was that bad. It shouldn't work at all.
yeah, I know he gambled a lot basically because no observer, no internal news, so
Yeah,
you could have.
and you played too safe basically with the early engineering bay, and you didn't have
Yeah.
an opportunity to do a timing push.
I think I would have just two fact when I scout that greedy expansion.
Should also work, yeah. It's
Thing is, I never know what works or not because you know sometimes I think oh maybe I scout early third, but I think you should just start at this third if you want to do a timing push because from what people told me, if you scout and this third is almost done, it's already too late. Like if you try, you would just have a shit ton of units and your push would be denied.
I wouldn't. Well, it depends if you're ready or if you're prepared for a timing push and you then see the Nexus just finished. That's like the perfect timing to attack.
Oh, okay, maybe I misunderstood then.
Because that means he actually spent the money. Because the thing is, even when you see carriers, if he just started queuing up the carriers, he still has the same army size as if he didn't go to carrier, except for like the Stargate money. Only if you wait for like a minute more, then he actually doesn't have as much army as he would have if he didn't go carriers, because they built actually for a time and the money was spent in the past, so to speak. I don't know if I make myself clear.
But basically I noticed also that, but yeah, if they go carrier, the main army like is always small.
It's
So-
smaller. I wouldn't say it's small because two
Yeah,
base
yeah.
carrier is actually pretty safe. You cannot really timing push it. It is, that's why Flash also goes or invented his +2/+1 like build. Because take Bonif for example, he goes two base carriers all the time and you cannot kill him early on.
Who goes to base carrier all the
Bonif,
time?
Bonif,
Oh, Bonif.
the Polish player. Because he goes for a very safe carrier style. He only expands when he knows it's safe. And he has good carrier micro, so he can just make it up with good efficiency. Yeah, and that's how he wins a lot of games. Oh yeah, I was thinking about... I played a couple of weeks ago like a game where I, for example, did an early push because I thought he went for a fast Nexus. But let me see if I can actually find that one. It's been longer.
Oh, that was the Nilaios one, this game. I remember it. I don't know if maybe I can show funny TvP.
Okay, sure.
I don't know, I just went through like fast forwarded, but yeah. It was just, oh my god, that guy. Yeah, I think this one could be funny to watch, and maybe also you have some tips to give to me, because I don't exactly remember. Okay, so why did I play it? TvP 4, it was 14. But yeah, I remember. Don't go back to this guy, just trapped them. So he had to go all the way down to my base, but my base had turret and I had ref as well, so
Okay.
basically just I did. For me, it's this one.
Okay.
Funny when you, because I try to classify my games by the dates, like July 2021, August 2021. And it's funny to see every time. I know when I was upset just by the name of a replays.
Okay, same name, same password.
All I know is that my macro was probably bad because I was like 110 supply at 12:30, so yeah. But it was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I think like I felt like I improved. Even last week I felt like I played much better. It didn't split properly is my problem.
Yeah, happens sometimes. I don't know if you are aware that there are some minerals that mine more efficiently. Because I saw that you didn't use the best one at the start.
I didn't notice. I was on the proto screen, like spawn position, and I just noticed you had like 3 probes mining instead of 4. But every time I don't know, like if I don't think every time I do the perfect splits, but most of my splits are okay most of the time. As long as there's 4 STV minings, I'm okay with it because.
Okay, he goes for some gas stealing.
Did I block it? I think I did. No, I just.
Okay.
Okay, lol. I didn't even remember.
At least you killed the probe.
Yeah, at least I killed it. I was like fucking, and then I killed it.
Yeah, you can. You should repair the SCV if it gets too low, and use the second SCV to repair the attacked one, so that you don't lose it.
And then I just checked for proxies in case because it planned to gas steal, so I was a bit suspicious.
Yeah. You should always make or take a break with a second marine to get your factory in time, because it's now very late.
Oh yeah. I think in that specific scenario it's because I don't know what did I do, but most of the time or every time I have the factory in time. It wasn't preemptively because my CV went on the right side, I think. I was not sure of the Zealot timing, so maybe my CV could have gone on the path and the Zealot was already ahead, so that's why I made.
But even if he proxies, it is important that you have. It is more important to get the factory on time than it is to get the marine like 5 seconds faster.
Yeah. Why did I stop my CV there?
Maybe just a misclick. Okay, so you're blind now. And you bid for marines. Okay.
To be honest, I don't remember what I was doing this game. Usually I get 2. I mean, since recently I'm starting to get 2 Vander Bunker. Before I was getting 3 Vander Bunker or CC first. It was a little bit different. But the game I went for 4. I can't remember exactly why. Maybe just safety against Dragoons. But 3 were enough.
Yeah, 3 or 2. 4 is... you don't really need 4. Only if he has a Zealot too.
Oh, that's laggy.
Yeah.
So yeah, since I didn't scout, I didn't know that he made a Nexus. But he had a range, so
Yeah. You
but
know
who
that
knows, you know.
it is not, you know that it is not super fast tech, and you send out an SCV to scout him again. So that is good. You should have maybe sent out an SCV a little bit earlier.
Yeah, thing is, I didn't want to send this earlier because I already lost the first one and the second one at the bottom of the ramp, so I felt like it was maybe too much. And that's why I think I didn't dare to send one when I scout to gate purple. But nothing, like no observatory, no river.
Yeah, well, it's the
And I still made the turret. Thing is, I still struggle to know exactly.
yeah. You shouldn't doubt your information. You know that he has an expansion, and you saw a robo. And if he has an expansion done, he cannot have any shuttle coming to your base at this time. You have like another minute. Okay, this time you get an
It was a very kind Protoss who let me sneak my virtue.
Okay, now he gets a river.
Where's
Okay.
the river?
You scan it, okay? Just in time.
Oh, 1 HP. Should have met maybe a pair of Goliath then. I think I skipped. I'm not sure. Did I skip? Yeah, I think I skipped Goliath. I just trusted myself for some reason. Also,
Well,
the
it's
river was very
okay.
late.
If you get a turret ring, you don't really need Goliaths. Don't need to build Goliaths.
Yeah, because you see there are some idle tanks, I think. So they're here, Vulturon tanks, and they're here basically to attack when needed.
Okay, done.
I think I'll save my CV right here. I tend to have good reaction time when those drops happen. So let's see. But I think I instantly saw the red dot on my map and moved everything basically. Maybe it's not this game, but yeah, it's very idle, like the shuttle.
Mm. You wait a long time to take your third, that's a bit of an issue.
Yeah, this spot I never know to take a third properly, and I'm very slow.
Okay, defense was basically perfect.
Oh, I don't like this 3 times under the mine, above the mine. I mean.
Again, carriers.
Yeah, this game also was scary. Yeah, that's why it's a funny one. This one. Thing is, I'm too slow to react. Like, not react. I mean, I'm too slow to. You know, these tanks, for example, they were unsieged for a very long time.
Yeah,
And you had observer.
Yeah, and you should also have 2 turrets there. Because
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the thing. You have so
place
much thing
mines.
yeah,
to think about, and I just don't have enough time to macro everything, follow the build, and at the same time do everything safely. It's just too much, way too much.
yeah.
Like, look, even those 4 tanks, they are clumped. I mean, if I don't take the time to spread my tank, maybe I can, but then I feel like it's pure suicide. Like one bad mine or
Well,
one stasis later.
you don't have to work like excessively to spread your tanks. I would just move or move basically to your third base, my army, and then just siege them up one at a time, and they spread automatically that way basically. And you
Ah, yeah, I
and
know what you mean.
and while they are moving, you can send some SCVs and tell them to build turrets and stuff like that. It is also good to think about how you can do stuff efficiently, so that you don't need to have a 300 APM to do all the stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You're getting a
Yeah,
cloak.
but really,
Okay.
you need really to make more mines. There's just one mine lonely sitting at the high ground, and if he have a high zealot count, he can just run inside your tanks.
No, I mean, on that game, it was really... I didn't do that properly. It depends on the game. Sometimes I think about it, sometimes I forget about it, because I have to lay down the build properly, and even
Yeah.
in that game you can see it's not really laid down properly, because I have only 3, 4, 5, 6 factory right now, and it was like a 2 weeks ago game. Now I still do better. Like last time I tried, I'm almost maxed out at 1230. I think I'm like my best was like 170 at 1230, something like that, which is very good if you consider the fact that I'm E rank, because I don't think I know any E, G, or even C rank who can max out at 1230.
Yeah. Well, with the mines, it's kind of understandable because you don't actually have many vultures.
And here we go, look at that, it will be so funny.
How many carriers does he have? 4.
But look, because I know he can't really go up, right? First, I think this ramp is just a pain in the ass. So I sent some Goliath on the other side, and I moved, I remember. But I was focusing on the carrier. Now it just went inside.
Yeah, you shouldn't let yourself get baited like that. Just defend from your third, because otherwise.
Oh, it's fine, because now it's gonna suicide this carrier into my base, which is very nice for me.
Because of the race, yeah.
Yeah, you
So
need
I
to
get
pick
first,
the
I get
observer,
this
yes.
TvP observer, because I know they always get observer if they're smart enough. And now I just lost this carrier for nothing. And you see, I don't know why he's not targeting, like, he's targeting the turret, you know? Not targeting armory, not starport, no.
You can
So that
find
was
the
really
armory.
funny. When I saw that, I was like, did you really just do that?
Yeah, because he's making more carriers. 2 are waiting, 2 in production.
And now we just went full zealot man, I don't know why, but... And I think you would just move them. Yeah, and I scan. Every time, I don't know how do I do that, but I always perfectly scan. Like most in TvP drops, I perfectly scan them. I should have backup my... Yeah, like that. Like backup this my Goliath so they don't get killed by tanks. And he will keep doing that, I think. Then he will... You can see he's just making zealot right now.
Yeah. The first wave was kind of understandable because it's pretty much standard to get zealots while you push with your ground army, but he lost his entire ground army without killing much, so it was pointless to send the zealots to their death.
Yeah. I can't remember where oh, okay, right now. I was about to say I can't remember why did I move out, but I think it's right now.
Yeah, it's a good
Good job.
decision.
Thing is, so why did I scan right there? Okay, I scanned every base, but I didn't scan the observer. It's the one I wanted to scan. Or did I? I think I did. Wait, I'm about to do it. Or not. Okay, I thought I did. because it's a big mistake. Every time they see, yeah, you know, every time they see you're moving out or stuff like that, they can just send a move.
Yeah.
But his zealots are moving
Yeah, but
around.
even like that, I will still handle it properly, I think. With my main army, I move because you just have pure zealot.
Yeah, yeah. That's a
And
good
right now, I
thing.
just plant mines, back my tanks, siege them, and they will just suicide them. Yeah. So it's also because he poorly microed. And I don't remember what goes next in this game, to be honest. So we will discover. I should have made. Yeah, it's just because I tend to move my whole army. But oh yeah, that one I remember that. He just couldn't kill that bunker. And it just, you know, it just I moved it towards the bunker. I don't know why, but
Hmm.
you know, it just didn't care about my SCV at all.
Well,
And now I
he
have
needs to
right.
micro that, so he just attack moved so that he can micro his carriers. Totally.
Yeah, I guess that's why. But then he has no observer, so he just suicide
Yeah.
6 carrier for nothing.
Yeah, somehow he forgot about the race.
But now, yeah, you should use the tanks in your army to do some damage.
Oh man, this
You
is
can
so
catch
nice
them up
to see
with the
that.
Goliath.
Hmm.
But you don't need to move all your army to hunt
Yeah, it's the big
areas
mistake I did.
because the tanks and the vultures blocking all the time your Goliaths, and in the
Yeah.
time they can just bust his fourth base or something.
And now we did DG Invisible Mates plus Zealot, man.
Yeah.
That was really a crazy game. I didn't understand a single
Yeah.
thing.
What you also should do is take a fourth base at some point.
Yeah, on this game I don't know. I could have do that, but could have done that, but for some reason I didn't. So now I scanned that. I think I will put mines and siege around this fourth and third. I usually put mines every time, yeah, on the path.
Yeah, that's good. Just
Yeah.
kill his remaining mining
And
bases.
now we will just realize he can't go, and he will just leave the game, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Didn't even GG me. Kidding, of course, but yeah, this game was like was a bit crazy.
Hmm.
I think the thing that surprised me is the fact that after he lost his career, his first 4, he just went Zealot, pure Zealot. And
Yeah, it's a
at
bit
first,
strange. Yeah.
I was scared at first. I was like, am I gonna just lose to pure Zealot now? Yeah, it's really scary TvP, you know.
Yeah, of course. Everything is scary.
Yeah. Sometimes you die to some stuff you don't really understand how, but apparently you lost.
Yeah, pure zealots can kill you if you don't realize and are just panic sieging all your tanks and then you
Yeah,
kill yourself. So can happen.
Basically, against every I mean, whether it's Dragoon, Zealot Templar, Pure Zealot Dragoon, you always need tank Vulture, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, just pure tanks never match. Pure Vulture never goes well as well, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe against Pure Zealot.
Yeah.
But,
That's the only thing where pure Vulture army is good.
yeah, other than that, yeah, the tank Zealot is like a reliable composition.
Yeah.
Tank Vulture, I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Maybe I got a question because yeah, so I didn't really watch Academy Armory timings of recent pro gaming games, but you know I have the last and light replay pack from the Foreign Boudoir Discord. And these
Okay.
replays, I think there are like 2015, 16-ish. And I noticed that most of them on a lot of replay, for example, on light or last, back in the day at least, they tend to get later armory and than the early one, like 5-15. But I don't really know how do you know when to put the armory depending on your playstyle.
It
How
probably
much you get.
depends also a lot on what the opponent is doing, I suppose. I don't
Because I
know.
think
I would have to see the replay actually to judge, because if they had to get an eBay beforehand, for example, then of course they can't get it that early. Or they want to have a better opportunity to punish a greedy third so they get to factory quickly. Stuff like that.
just, yeah, watch quickly one random one. So of last, for example. I don't know, last versus
Because
mini.
of the thing is really with this early academy armory on one factory you cannot punish anything. So it's basically pure macro, and the only thing it's good versus is also macro and like harass. If they want to harass you, then you can skimp on turrets because you get Goliaths earlier.
Yeah. And you only get Goliath range in which case? I mean early game.
Yeah.
In which case do you get a Goliath range?
Well, when they get River, I would get range for Goliaths and range, and then I take or start the third CC a bit later, and basically like immediately after I get also an eBay, so that my CC finishes. I also have turrets at the like border on the map, like one turret at the main border map on the map barrier in the main, and one at the natural.
Oh yeah.
So that they cannot fly in at the edge of the map.
But you always get it when they get river, but not only if they get. Yeah, I mean it would be too late. I was about to say if they get speed shuttle, but yeah, most of the time when you realize they get speed shuttle, it's already they already have it, you know.
Yeah. That's why I also watch for the gate counts. What I said earlier, when they only
Yeah, if
have
it's
two
two gates.
gate, it is likely that they have speed on the way.
It's a
And
thing I never thought about before.
it's
How to detect speed shuttle.
yeah, it's also reason to me because that's like a really, I think, nuance thing, to see that he has only two gates instead of three, but Reaver on the way, and basically that difference is that he gets speed. But it's maybe not 100% reliable because he could also get a third base, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, it's still a good information. I mean, if you just see two gates, you already know that either is going for a third or it's maybe speed shuttle or
Yeah. If you know that he doesn't have a third base, it's very likely that he gets speed.
Okay, I think it's I have one replay, but yeah, it's kind of odd because basically it goes on a lot of replays I noticed. He goes Fac opening, then mines, two tank mines, and so he plant mines everywhere on the map, and he just it's 623 still doesn't have armory started.
Yeah, it can also be because at that
And
time.
he did he did Fac CC Fac basically, and then he got armory I think or stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's very
so basically he tries to punish an early third.
okay, yeah. So that's why every time they get late, it's because on those replay they used to do a lot bad stuff. I mean, last at least he used to get CC, then a second factory,
Yeah.
then armor academy straight up because I see Scumsat is already done, almost done. And later we get eBay, and I think the third thing will be armory soon.
Yeah, I think
But yeah,
there's even if he goes for Reaver on 2 gates or so, I think it could even penetrate the natural. But I'm not sure. I used to do something similar a bit. And it can catch Protoss players off guard because they don't expect such a fast push after they saw you take your natural.
Yeah.
And sometimes they skimp on some goons then, and then all of a sudden your push is really strong.
That's calm all of a sudden.
I'm just thinking if I have something to show. But not really anything specific. I only save replays with special names, either if it's a build order replay or if it's a really like super close game. Maybe that here. I'm just checking a replay and maybe we can watch that one because there was a game where I played versus a 12 Nexus and I did not manage to kill his Nexus, but I still won it in the end.
I guess miracle exists.
Yeah, I think that was it. I will open it and you can join. It's the same name as before. Okay, so basically this guy opens 12 Nexus and I scout him on first try and try to punish it basically.
Ah, that's Yeti.
Okay.
Polish Protoss.
Yeah, I know that handle. So basically I see here that he goes 12 Nexus and what I do is I cut SCVs here to get Marines instead of SCVs and still have a factory on time so that I have a stronger like bunker rush timing.
Yeah, you did first scout, but that's very nice.
Yeah, and when I have 3 Marines I think I then pull SCVs and...
So it's usually when you get your first vulture that you start to push, or even before if you scout it first?
When I start the first vulture I think, but basically I start pushing when I have 3 Marines and then I pull SCVs so that they arrive at the same time. The Protoss here does a good job by sending, by getting an early Zealot and pushing with it.
But
So,
he was greedy to get like only one gate, 12 Nexus and one gate.
yeah, but he got an earlier Zealot than usual.
Yeah. And your Marines are low HP already.
Yeah, and I missed that Zealot, so it's a little bit of trouble for me.
It's picking. lot.
Was it on ladder?
That was on ladder, yeah.
Ah.
And usually I get 2 vultures and then I add machine shop, but as you can see I'm busy, so I'm not doing anything. And you can see here he has a really solid defense that he walls fully so that my vultures can't get any closer.
Yes. Ah, but... Okay. His second gate is not working.
Yeah, he's
That's
also
good for
busy.
you.
Yeah.
Wow.
He also doesn't have perfect macro, yeah. I managed to get marines in,
Marines inside.
but I built a lot of marines, so I'm really committing here to his push. And the Nexus is still full health, so
Oh, he's losing
one
Dragoon to the bunker.
That's also a good thing by buildings in the natural, because the bunker can't target fire, so the Nexus takes only a part of the damage. And now range is finished, so he can actually defend this. And as you can see, I don't even have my CC started. So it doesn't look so good for me.
Yeah. Was Dragoons not shooting?
Sometimes they bug out.
He didn't fix it for a long time, as we
Yeah.
see.
So, and what I'm doing here is I'm trying just to get as much damage done as possible, because I knew that the Dragoons were low health, so I decided to go in with a tank to snipe them. And delayed a little bit of money, but I'm still not in a good position because my CC is still not done, but his is, and we have the same worker count.
Not as bad as I expected because they were both 20 workers. He didn't yet really, how to say it, benefit, from the 12 Nexus.
And now he should start as Protoss doing some pressure before you get contained again.
Yeah, the only
Yeah.
thing I had the information that he has 2 gate and he didn't have an early robo. So I knew he couldn't move out because he doesn't know where the mines are.
But he's going for the shuttle first.
Third gate.
Yeah, and I'm doing something unusual here, what I normally don't do. I continue my marine production for anti-air basically, and also to just have a little bit more firepower. Because I felt I was really far behind still, because his Nexus survived. So I basically just tried to contain him as hard as possible. Because that was the only advantage I had, basically, positioning.
Now 2 Zealot bomb is coming.
Yeah, but yeah, that's why the Marines are here.
But he's not moving the goons from the... No.
Because he just got the observer, so he was a little bit late with that.
Oh, he failed. This push could be so deadly for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this was bad Protoss micro.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still struggling. I thought, like, once you failed the push, you were just too
Because
much
he had the
behind.
observer there to engage at the same time with the shuttle.
Yeah, lagged a little bit with the coordination there,
Yeah,
which was lucky for me.
but yeah, that these are the things that cost you so much in the early game.
Yeah, and basically
Now with the tower, you're in a good position. Yeah,
in a decent position, I would say. Yeah,
decent position. Yes.
because I only still have now I have 2 tanks there, but it's still not really much of a contain. But he also doesn't have much, so it works somehow.
And he added like 3 more gates. Oh,
You lost the shuttle.
4 more gates.
Yeah. Yeah, he has 6 gates now, and I am now only starting
Yeah,
to add.
oh, okay. Yeah, because I saw when he had 6, he put 6, not the 7th one, but 6. Yeah, you had 2 gates, so I was like, it's gonna be tough if you don't increase the factory count.
Yeah, and what I'm trying to do is to prevent him from running by so that I can just rally to his 3rd base basically, so I don't have to worry about something being sniped. That's why I put my tank there. And because I knew he had shuttle, it was not unlikely that he also gets Reaver, so I built a turret ring.
Yeah, or some Protoss just elevate a lot of units to 3 or 9 or 12 o'clock,
Ah, yeah, yeah.
and then backstab you or something.
Yeah, that's also something you have to be aware of.
I'm just making one turret at those positions, and at the stony field I place some mines because Protoss likes to drop the units out there.
Yeah. In this case it's not very likely because he has so much pressure at the front. But when you survived an engagement pretty good, you can just send a vulture there and put a mine to see if there's going any hidden drops on. We even had 7 gates, man. He built a lot of gates.
But now it's getting hard. You're adding the 5th factory. You should focus the tanks with the dragoons.
But there were not dragons, just
he's-
glitching on the mines.
He shouldn't attack the turrets. He just went for the focus tank with the dragoons.
And what you can see here is like these couple of Marines really helped me keep my contain.
Yeah, that's crazy, 4 HP tank.
I'm wondering that he has no DT. There's so many gas.
I think he was simply just focused on breaking the contain.
Now he's doing a good move. But yeah,
This dragon.
sniping the rally tanks. That's too much vulture.
No, it didn't go as planned.
Yeah, after the attack where he almost broke me, I got ahead, I would say, because I have more SCVs now than he has probes.
Yeah.
And I'm slowly attacking, I'm getting +1, I'm finally getting an academy. And he doesn't take at all.
But it seems he keeps wasting his unit.
Yeah, but he's killing all the tanks. If he doesn't do this, he would be dead so fast.
Yeah. What he probably should do is, now that he's more free, is to simply get around this high ground and just have units at his natural front and between me and him,
Yeah.
so that I have to focus more on protecting my rallying units.
That's what I said. He could just, because you have no vision at that stony field, he could just, on the top left of his base, put with a shuttle like 6-7 dragoons out and go around you. You're the contain.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, now he tries to do some maneuvering. But I'm now pretty ahead. And he cannot keep small amounts of dragoons, because I can just surround and kill him. And basically I matched his production now with 6 factories, so it's okay to fight in the open.
It's such a crazy game. It's 16 minutes and
Yeah.
I was about to say 16 minutes to base, but yeah, I didn't see he started the third one.
Yeah, but it's still super late, and I only did it because I'm also floating money, as you can see.
Yeah.
And then I just say, okay, I have the money, get the CC. Yeah, and now it's pretty much over.
And now 3 probes for you.
Yeah, now he has no zealots.
Oh no! And he's probe turning around because they realize things are here.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was so close. Those probes were so close to die. And I saw those tanks, they were focusing Protoss unit, but if they weren't, all those probes were dead.
Hmm.
It's the kind of stuff I would love to do in TvP, but I think I would have died straight after failing the 12 Nexus push.
Yeah, it's hard. It was probably also kind of lucky because he ran in a mine, and also he didn't use his, when he had Zealot with speed, he could have like split them up more carefully and not attack with all Zealots one tank, and then a mine triggers and damages all of them. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then he could have had an easier time breaking me. But it was a fun game for me, at least. Alright.
Yeah, look like all of my TVPs.
Okay, so if you don't want to watch anymore, then I guess we can end here and call it a
I
day.
think it was a nice class session.
Thanks.
Now I will win every TvP as long as they don't gas steal me.
Well, even versus Gasly, I don't think it's so bad. It is so bad anymore, because it was done so many times to me. I know how to react now.
I just think I still don't react properly, I think. And
The only thing
Yes.
that's bad is if you kill the gas and even though you know he managed to re-steal the gas, that's
yeah,
when I'm starting to get angry. Because
it
then you are
happened to me
just
once.
then you are just really behind. But usually we don't, because I time it so that I have a marine out before the gas dies, and then they cannot get close to the gas easily anymore. And then I do like a gas expand, I suppose. But depends a bit. If we go proxy gate with that, I get 2 barracks.
Yeah, against proxy gate, yeah.
Okay, then thanks for listening to me.
No problem.
And
Yes.
have a nice day, evening.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.